Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Barotrauma. We're having a revisit of this today because, well, that's what we're sort of doing. In the new year, we're going back to some of the old bangers on the channel that people have enjoyed over time. And Barotrauma is one that we come back to at least yearly, people really enjoy. So we're going to do an overview, give you an idea of what it's about. Maybe it's something for you, maybe you want to go and pick it up and play it yourself. Put it on your wish list, put it on your radar. And beyond that, well, we are streaming on Twitch a bit more these days. Maybe we'll do some more episodes for the second channel, something like that. But anyway, for the time being, let's get into Barotrauma. So what is this? Well, it's very unique. We're going to skip the tutorials because I think I know everything. It's this side-on ant farm, side platformer sort of looking game. But I say the ant farm thing because I immediately think of base building in things like XCOM, right? Except that's the whole game and it's more interactive in real time. So you're this sort of ragdolly dude running left to right and up and down, managing your submarine. It can be played single player, and it's infinitely more accessible in current year with the bots and all that. It's come a long way. This game was, there's no better term than dog shit when it comes to single player in the early days, but the devs sort of come to realize that they actually have a fairly rabid single player only fan base. And they've built up a lot of the mechanics. So as much as, you know, it was kind of terrible in the past, it's kind of fantastic now. So you take the good with the bad. This game does really shine in multiplayer. You can do a whole trader mechanic, which I think is just for wankers, but each their own. You know, hey, the game exists for people that enjoy that sort of stuff, but there are people that they derive pleasure from ruining other people's fun, and I suppose this game can cater to that. But it really does shine if you get like 3 or 4 blokes together, looking after the submarine, someone's on the reactor, someone's on the guns, you know, someone's driving, that sort of thing. And it's really good. And it can get quite sweaty, even though there's a lot of memes and ragdolls and falling over. It can be fairly hardcore, to be honest. So that sort of gives you an idea. You drive your submarine around, you repair it, you do missions as an overworld sort of map, and the play is in instances in little caves on Europa under the ocean frozen surface or whatever. And yeah, you sort of level your ship up, you level your crew up, and you go deeper and deeper. There's a sort of FTL Doom mechanic that pushes you along from left to right in that this like radiation wave that comes along. So you can't just sort of farm the low levels forever. It will penalize you for that. What is this? The Bar Souk. It's a beginner ship. Crew size 1 to 3. I don't know what that is. That's new. I'm quite used to the Dugong. But let's try this Bar Souk out, eh? It sounds pretty cool. Alright. I'll take these blokes. Joe Bradley, Manuel Cheney, and Laura McElroy. Okay. And what a crew they are. Yeah, so we've got videos littered throughout the channel, but, you know, I particularly enjoyed the arc where bots were too dumb to take off their oxygen masks when they ran out of O2, and so they would die of self-asphyxiation. And then inevitably a dude would go down to rescue that dude, probably put on a air mask himself, and now you've got yourself a feedback death loop of dudes just suffocating themselves trying to rescue each other. Got a bit of flavor text. It's a good setup, but again, this being an overview, we're sort of more focused on the gameplay. You can always pause this and have a look and read yourself. But let's go. We'll have a bit of a tour of this submarine because I'm unfamiliar. But look at me. Hey, what's this? Manual Chansey. Finally a chance to get off this station. Can you believe there's so few people willing to crew a submarine? They just sponsored us one fresh from the shipyard. I still feel like there's some catch. This is new. This is new. There's like a narrative from the beginning. Oh. None as far as I can see. Supply and demand in action. They need able-bodied sailors to keep European society running, and the original crew of the submarine drank themselves to death before their maiden voyage. That sounds pretty cool. It's ours, all right. No, if you say so. Still seems fishy, but it sure beats sitting around here. What do we still have to do before we go? We'll need some supplies for our first voyage. Fuel rods are a must. Without them, I cannot keep our submarine powered. This is fantastic. Last time I looked at this, probably last year, didn't have any of this in it. So this is a great addition, especially helping with newbies, because the game's quite overwhelming, right? Welding fuel 2, as without it, we have no way to patch the hull damage. Of course, let's try to avoid hull damage, but just in case. I'll transfer my life savings to the shared bank account to contribute. Oh, Jesus. Or last savings. Alright, I'll get the supplies. Great! Maybe while you're up there, you can check if anyone has some paid work for us. There's not much point in drifting around without a purpose, and keeping a submarine running is expensive. He's not wrong about that. The fuel rods definitely chip away at you. Alright, so this is sort of your command console. You can see, this is where I spend most of my time. You don't have a choice in single player, really. You can undock and drive around. We're not going to do that, but that's the submarine there, and that's the station that we're attached to. You can turn on autopilot. You can turn on sonar, which is like a dinner bell, but it shows you everything that you need to see. Especially as a single player thing, you kind of need it. Depth charges. I don't normally have them, but apparently this ship has them. Looks like we've got a medical cabinet. We've got ethanol, anti-paralysant, bandages, all sorts of cool things. Very robust healing medical system in this game, and depending on your character's medical skill, how do we pull all that crap up? Yeah, here you go. They've got all these skills. There's an RPG sort of component. So my dude's dog shit at that. And if he was trying to look at someone and go, oh, I can't tell what happened, when they clearly have like a broken leg or they're bleeding from the foot or something, he might think that we should give them heart medication or whatever. So you kind of want the right brains on that job. What is this? Sulfuric acid in the toxin cabinet. Okay, well, let's leave that be for the moment. Now what's back up here? Nice. Pulse laser loader. We have a pulse laser. So you hit these periscopes. Might be hard to see in the grim dark. But this is the external of the ship, and this is essentially how your gunners fight, right? So this, I think, this is for depth charges. You load there. And it looks like we've got a coil gun periscope as well. Nice. Nice. Cool. Let's continue looking along here. So this is our nuclear reactor. You generally just have it on automatic control. But essentially the more rods you put in, the more generation and fission rate you have, and that leads to your turbine output. Though overdoing it and underdoing it, you get sort of short circuits, and you can have issues where you have an entire power outage, or even circuit boards and breakers and wires taking damage. Look at all these things. So all of this cable goes somewhere. You can make the ship yourself in a custom ship bloody building editor, which I'm not super personally interested in, but it's there for those that are interested. We've got these will charge batteries. Little O2 reader. This is great. Oh, excuse me. I believe this is an oxygen generator. So essentially you put your empty O2 bottles in there and it will fill them essentially free of charge. It's a little bit gamey. This is a general cabinet. You've got welders, wrenches and crowbars, screwdrivers. Look at this. We've got 6 fuel rods to go. And that's how you get into the sort of mechanical component of it. Like if say these circuit breakers get blown up, they take damage over time. Everything does. So there's a maintenance minigame to it. See, at the moment I can just read the overlay, but if I were to, oh, I don't know, grab a screwdriver, put it in there, and then equip it, you can see I've got my little screwdriver now, and I go to it, I should be able to fuck with it. If I wanted to, I could rewire it, and if it was damaged, I could repair it. You can see up here, you have insufficient engineering level. So there is a sort of a roll of the dice chance that you can actually hurt yourself. You get like electrocuted or damage when you're repairing, and you shouldn't be repairing. I mean, how else are you going to level it up? That's the only way to level it up. But it is one of those things that the lower your skill, the more chance you're going to have a fail condition. Oh, there's the depth charge here. Here's our sort of main engine. You can fiddle with it manually if you must. So if, you know, you will get to points where the hull breaches, the ship's flooded, you can't start the reactor because there's electric lines, you know, broke to it and all that. So you could probably manually rewire and rework a lot of stuff on that sort of first principles fundamental level, which is pretty cool. So this is one of the ballast areas, which we're not necessarily going to go into. Well, a submarine wants to go up and down, right? But how do you do it? You essentially do it by taking on and ejecting water and changing the sort of relative density of the vessel. There you go. I said I wasn't going to go into it, but here I go. This must be the exterior airlock. Let's stay away from that. These are little oxygen suits, like full body suits. Look at this. Looking very cool. They have an O2 sort of can that you have to maintain as well. Oh, this is turning into a pretty thorough overview, but I wanted to explore the ship anyway, so it works out. Large steel cabinet with some revolver rounds. Okay, that's a bit thin. Crate shelf. I think this is more for mission items. I can't be 100% sure. The game has changed so much over the years. And this will lead us into the station proper, which I think is a good enough time as any. So ordinarily, you can't go out through this hatch. But because we're attached to a station, we can. We go in here and have a bit of a squiz. Look at this. Hello. Wana. That's your name. You can see we've got these little bips here. Outpost manager and shop. Let's try and figure out how to get to them. There you go. We can talk to... No, I don't want to talk to... I want to talk to the trader. Fill rods and welding fuel. Well, you know, we might as well buy a little bit just to show. It gets delivered to the submarine when you leave. It gets put in a crate and then you sort of got to busy work it and put it away. Alright? Now, Eric Parchman. With some basic construction materials to... we've sold some basic construction materials to a neighbouring outpost, but delivery is on us. A simple transport job, perfect for a new crew like yourselves. What say you? Mission unlocked, mining outpost, mineral transport. That material transport. That sounds good. But if you spam him, usually... Oh, maybe we're in more tutorial mode. Usually he'll give you a whole stack of missions, but it's... Honestly, it's better this way. It's better this way. Slow and steady. Oh god, that's a great way to break your leg, is just falling down ladders like that. Look at me do the worm. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, cool. Now that we're down near our ship, we can go select mission and leave the outpost. So there's the outpost that we're at there. Looks like there's another outpost there. These are sort of in-instance world meta objectives. You can turn on these beacon stations. You can see getting it back online will make it easier for human habitation to spread into nearby locations. So there's this sort of rudimentary living world component to the game where dudes settle further and further across. It's interesting, this map though. It's very tight compared, like that. It seems that they've changed it. Well, we don't have a lot of options. We have to go here to Yasser. Mining outpost material transport, right? So we're gonna tick. If we didn't tick it, you can just go into the instance and do whatever the fuck you want. You can go exploring. There'll be wrecks and alien ruins to explore. All sorts of cool things. But we're just gonna take the mission and off we go. It's only one skull, so it says as good a place as any to start. Oh, it's good being back at a bit of Barotrauma. Maybe we'll get like a multiplayer session going and stream it, something like that. Okay, so setting up commands for your bots is kind of important. We've got an engineer and we've got a mechanic. So the engineer is more electrical in this game. However, we didn't hire anyone. If I were to say, put you on the guns, what sort of guns, how many guns do we have? Okay, cool. So we've got a coil gun at the back. We've got a pulse laser at the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you each on a gun. Like that. Pretty straightforward stuff. Alright? But I'm also going to go... Let's see. See, operate the reactor is not really going to work in concert here. Maintenance. Let's put them both on fix leaks. But you see, if they go to fix leaks first, it has a left to right AI priority system. You can see how this is highlighted. As soon as there is a leak, they will jump off the gun and go fix the leak, right? So there is a rudimentary logic loop to it. Repair electrical systems, repair mechanical systems, okay? So we'll put you on electrical, because you're the electrical dude, and we'll put you on mechanical. And I believe they can't have more than 3 jobs each, and that seems as good enough for our little crew as I can muster, right? Cool. So let's press the undock button, turn the autopilot off, turn the active sonar on, and off we go. Insufficient power. What's that about? I don't have someone working the reactor at the moment. Generally speaking, there's an automatic one, but you can see this vector is power related as well. Right, velocity, that sort of thing. So if I rip this vector from there all the way back to there, the amount of power usage from my system is going to spike, right? So for the dude that is potentially in multiplayer manually handling the reactor output, that becomes tricky. So the more you flog around and fluctuate the power requirements of the ship, the rougher it is. You can just leave it on automatic and it seems to go alright. And off we go on our little adventure. So you can see there it's telling me where everyone is. Air quality data not available. There and there. We've got one big ballast tank. What's the lower 4 do? I don't know, it looks empty. So those slight green bips are icicles, whatever you want to call them. So while they ping up, they're probably thin. You'll probably be able to see it when we come around it. You notice that the radar doesn't have a depth to it. Yeah, exactly. See, it's pretty clear that that's just a sharp, spiky thing. Someone's shooting. Why are you shooting? Okay. Okay. Now we've got the depth charge, but we don't seem to have a sort of like a Matrix Nebuchadnezzar bloody EMP pulse, which you do get on the other starting ship. So what happens is you have these little shits that will swim up and you'll see them. And if your gunners don't get them, they attach to the hull and then they start burrowing into the hull. And if they get through, they start going in there and killing your dudes, and you've got to fight them, right? So the EMP is pretty handy if your ship has blind spots, which inevitably does. I mean, this one does. What just happened here? Did I complete the mission by accident? Is that what's happened? Why am I in this map? Did I click something by accident? Select a destination and leave the passageway. Okay. I guess that's mission complete. It's tough to tell when there's no station there. This looks like a bit of a longer... Tier 1 submarines available? Where do we go? Where should we go? I reckon let's double back down to Wallstone Outpost, right? So we don't have a mission, that's okay. Ah, look at that. We got 800 Deutschmarks. So we did complete the mission, we got paid for it. But that's the thing, if there's no station, then you got to basically keep playing instance to instance, stay in transit, which can be very, very tricky. Especially if you use your words, Scarlet. Especially if you're like limping, you're in trouble. You know, maybe resources running low, you're running out of fuel or ammo. Your dudes are injured, they need medical attention. Maybe you just need money. You have to make your way back to civilization. Oh, that's autopilot. That's why I'm getting that little bip. Cannot repair junction box. Care to elaborate as to why, please? See that dude's off trying to repair? There we go. Look, he's standing next to me in the background. You can see him repairing. Now you can sort of check all the surfaces and that because it's always going to be in a cavern. But you can often recognise wrecks and that sort of thing, points of interest to go exploring. What's going on here, this shape? Might be nothing. You can also put it on autopilot, take us to Nor, for example, right? I could let the autopilot run. Shit, but we don't want that. Sona's picking up baddies. So, we do have a gun up here somewhere. Oh, here they come. Please be on the gun. I've got a new target. Not sure what it is. Shoot it. Either he shot it and killed it. Well, whatever. It's seems to have lost interest. I guess we could go back to autopilot. There we go. Reached your destination. Let's go back down here. You can see, this is kind of cool actually, how we've been dicked a little bit and we're going through like 3 different instances before we're going to be back at a shop. So you got to really think about that for your fuel rods. Where are we going? Woolstone Outpost. What is the autopilot doing? We'll supervise the autopilot, I'm curious. The thing is, we're probably getting close to losing power from the fuel rod that's in there. And I don't have someone assigned to automatically manage it, so honestly, we're probably just going to go bzzzt and lose all power to the ship, and then I'll have to deal with the problem. You could also change into the other bots. You don't have to be the captain, I suppose. I spy detected. Destroy the spy or switching to manual steering advised. Nah, she'll be right. Do I get that warning outside of here? No. Okay, right. So I could just supervise the small blind, you know? Just watch for bips on the radar. Depth charge, pretty wild. See, now this autopilot's been a bit of a puss, so I don't want that. I want full speed ahead. Give me that. Bring me that vector. Sonar's picking up a moving target. Okay, cool. I need to permanently dismiss these warnings. As long as we protect our sort of underside, we should be alright. The pace of the game seems really different. They've changed the aggression on some of these monsters, and the density as well. Unknown spotted. Or you can hear the gun firing. Doot, doot, doot. Sounds like we have a leak. No more leaks in stowage. Looks like we're being tailed though, if that's not actually... That could be on our hull, and the thing's just bipping weird. What the hell is a starboard? That's funny, because they wouldn't know on this ship. Here you go, you can see there, hull breach. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're going to hit that so hard. That's not good. Fuck. That's really bad. I'm being crushed by pressure. Come on, come on. Where's the other suit? You dogs, where's the other suit? Oh my god. So they're off out doing repairs, but they took the bloody pressure suit off of me. I can try putting this on, but I worry that we might have a pressure issue. See, lacerations, blunt force trauma, my dude's hurting. Right. Alright, I can pinch this suit at least. How are we looking? Status report. I think we're actually good, to be honest. Get us moving again. Oh, a bit of adventure. Let's go. I don't believe we had any enemies actually get in here. I am hurt a little bit. You're developing an affliction. That's right. We'll deal with this at the outpost, I think. What a cool game, eh? If I say autopilot to the station, will you dock on your own? Apparently not. It's alright. I like docking. Dock. Oh, why would you give me the button if I couldn't? Ah, you fuck. Really? That was... That was pretty spot on, I thought. Who's this dickhead outside that keeps crashing into our dock? I believe it's Scarlet, sir. Seems I'm a bit stuck here. Come on. Really? What the fuck? Have I actually jammed? I have. But look at it. I mean, we're moving now. Nice, dickhead. Scarlet docks for half an hour. Let's go. The playthrough. I don't like how it moves that. You know what I mean? That's infuriating. There we go. We must have come so close the first time around. My goodness me. Alright. And then if we had missions we could cash it in. We could probably go find a medic or something. There you go. Outpost doctor. Hire on some more crew and you know, then the game kind of opens up fairly quickly. It's not bad actually. The opening 30 minutes has gotten so much better over the years. I think that's a pretty good setup. You know all the basics, you got a rough idea. God, I should probably take this off. Did I just drop that in the base? Oh my god. Put my hat back on. Who can say? Anyway, there you go. Bit of Barotrauma. So like I said, we're streaming on Twitch a little bit more this year, so there's a good chance that we cover more of this, and if we do, we'll probably put it on the second channel as well. Check the description. I've got links to my Discord and Twitch, which we're building up these days, and I'll let you know when we go live, because we're recording episodes and that there. You can come and hang out with the community while we do that. Anyway, team, thanks again for joining me. Might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.